Is networking necessary? How do I network? What's the most effective way to network? And when's the best time to start networking? In this video, I'm going to cover all the questions regarding networking and investment banking to help you gain entry and hopefully secure a full-time offer. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. So broken down simply, it's the action of locating, contacting, and talking to investment banking professionals in order to gain industry insight, gain knowledge about the role, and gain entry into a position. Remember, the goal of networking isn't just to gain entry. Networking is to know people in investment banking at a more personal level. This goes far beyond a junior breaking into the bank. Some seniors use networking in order to understand the market and know key decision makers and effectively bring large M&A deals, which can bring huge fees to their investment bank and make more money for them and their pocket. As you know, the recruiting process for investment banking is really competitive. One interesting article I read was that the acceptance rate in Harvard was 3.4%. However, the acceptance rate in 2021 for Goldman Sachs was, guess, 1.4%. Damn! I know, guys, that is astonishing. So what does that mean for you? Networking is really important because it allows you to set yourself apart from other students. In most cases, students that apply to investment banking have very similar backgrounds. So they have exemplar grades, they come from target and top universities, and in some cases they have highly relevant work experience. So it's really important for you to build solid foundation and build key relationships that can help you set yourself apart from other students. So there are several different strategies you can use in order to break into investment banking. Some of the few that have been successful for me are cold calling, cold emailing, and most importantly, attending industry insight events. So let's take a look and break down each of the strategies to decide which one is best for you. So the idea of cold calling or cold emailing is basically reaching out to an investment bank without being prompted to. The reason why this is highly effective is because if you're an undergrad at university or say an MBA who wanted an internship, it's a great way to get experience prior to maybe applying to a larger investment bank. And what do I mean by this? Cold calling is more effective for more smaller or boutique investment banks that don't have a large formalized process. You can now gain entry into an investment bank, gain the relevant experience, and in some cases learn even more, so you become more of a highly sought out candidate when applying to some of the bulge bracket banks. Now, cold calling does require you to do some detective work in order to identify the bankers you are interested in at the various investment banks. It's also really important to do some research so that if you're successful with a cold call, you can understand, number one, you're speaking to the key decision makers, and number two, you understand enough about the investment bank to make a good enough impression for them to give you a potential interview. The key piece of research is to understand the email format of the banker you're trying to identify. So in my case, I've had different email addresses. I've had my first name followed by a full stop and my last name at whatever institution I'm working at. Sometimes it could be the initial of my first name, full stop, my last name at the institution I'm working at. So essentially it's on to you to do your research and find out the email format. And once you find that, you're halfway there. It's all about effectively putting together an email that is efficient and talks directly to the banker for them to take notice to give you an opportunity to interview. What is up, guys? I hope you're enjoying the video. I am making a special announcement. Yes, a special announcement. So anyone who goes to my website and purchases a covering letter or CV, I will be doing a free consultation call. Yes, that's right, a free consultation call with you. So if you purchase right now today, I'll be doing a free consultation call where I'll help you discuss a plan of action with your application, whatever stage you are. Thank you very much, and we'll return back to the video. Peace. So in regards to writing an effective email, to be honest, there's no right answer and there's so many ways to do this. Now for me, when I receive an email or when I'm asked a favor, I always try to think of what value am I getting out of it. And so the best way I advise when people are reached is to speak to the person, speak to how you can have a unique value exchange. What do I mean by this? Now, if I'm an associate in an investment bank and I'm receiving an application from a student, most students are gonna write, "Hi Sol, my name is John, for example, and I want an internship role. Now, that doesn't really speak true to me, and I'm probably gonna put that to the side to many of the thousands of applications that have sent me the exact same thing. So a really effective message could be something like, "Hi Sol, we also attended the same university and I'm extremely passionate about joining your investment banking team. I've seen you've been really active this year, particularly in the consumer retail sector, and this is a big interest. Do you have 5 minutes to discuss further?" And that's a really simple and effective way to reach out to an associate or anyone in an investment bank, and it's more than likely that I'm gonna respond to that sort of message. Now, fortunately, we live in a world where we have something which I've mentioned before, which is degrees of separation. We have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a fantastic social media tool to allow you to connect to business and industry professionals, and it's a lot more easier than cold calling or cold emailing. So even if they say no to this message, ask for a follow-up or ask for anyone in an investment bank who you can reach out to that can help you. Investment bank, like I said, is a people industry and people are very, very connected. If you send a very, very good message across and there may not be any headcount at a particular role, however, I think you'll be a great fit, I can refer you to my friends who work in investment banking, or refer you maybe to the HR or anyone in the industry that may have an opening. And having that warm referral allows you to build momentum and helps you be more better positioned than any other candidate who are sending cold emails or not even networking at all. So like cold emailing, cold calling is an effective way to network, especially to smaller and boutique investment banks, in order to get your foot in the door. With this, you have the internet, and often is the case that you can find a number which can directly contact someone, maybe a HR, or maybe through your email, you can ask for a number to speak briefly for 5 minutes, and if they have the time, they'll give it to you. Again, it's really, really important for you to do your research, be very, very succinct and effective, and use a message to ask maybe for more time or potential interview, and even offer your services as free and unpaid. People are always looking for interns because investment banks have a lot of work to do, and I've been in investment banking where it's been extremely busy, and it's been so helpful to have an intern to do some of the tasks that really will take up a lot of time but will be so valuable to the overall work I'm trying to produce. So make sure you don't get scared to pick up the phone, because this could be your way to effectively get into investment banking. So I hope you guys are finding this extremely useful, and I really, really enjoy sharing this sort of content. If you want me to go through a live cold call, please give me 300 likes. This will indicate to me that you're very interested in this, and I'll do it. I'll put myself under pressure and do a live cold call to show you guys how to effectively network with an investment banking professional. So I know LinkedIn has many features such as the LinkedIn Premium, but we're going to focus on the LinkedIn basic profile and how you can effectively present yourself in order to gain good insight into the industry and connect with like-minded and relevant people. One of the things I always say is make sure you do your research. And what do I mean by that? If you've watched my previous videos, I've talked about the structure in investment banking and the different people and their different roles and responsibilities. And so you need to make sure that you target the key decision makers and the key stakeholders in the investment bank who are more than likely to connect with you, build a relationship with you, and help you in some way, shape, or form gain entry to an investment bank. So it's important to use LinkedIn effectively. Now, what do I mean by this? Reach out to people who are active on LinkedIn, who are maybe making posts, because they're more likely to respond to you. And also, if you're thinking from an investment banking structure and you're thinking of recruitment, reach out to either HR or associates. Now, the reason why I vouch for associates is because associates generally have more pulling power than investment bankers, and they're the ones who you'll be directly working with, especially if you're an analyst looking for entry level. So one caveat I want to mention is try not to send way too many invites. LinkedIn do their best to protect the member experience. So if you send too many invites and people don't respond to you, you can face some restrictions which won't help your profile. So one thing I always do is every so often I check my sent invitations, and people who haven't responded for 3 months, 4 months, say, I just withdraw the invite. I know it can be frustrating sometimes, but some people are busy and they have way too many connections. So in order to make sure your profile is not restricted, try to make sure that you focus on the few and not the many. Last but not least, and my personal favorite, is investment banking networking events. These could be in person or virtual events. And this is a fantastic way to actually meet human resources or investment banking professionals. Now, I do understand that sometimes some students could be more advantageous than others, and what I mean by that is if you attend, say, the London School of Economics, it's more than likely that an investment bank will come to your university campus in order to have a recruitment event. If this isn't you, I would make sure I would scour the internet, look everywhere and anywhere for different events, whether it's online or in person, to make sure you are there in order to have an opportunity to speak directly either to an investment banking professional or a recruiter. Now, prior to attending a networking event, make sure you do your research. It's an opportunity for you to stand out from the crowd and make a good impression so that they remember your name when applying for an internship or full-time role. So if I was attending a networking event today, I would do research on the different speakers. So when they're doing a talk, for example, I have questions already prepped so that I can stand out. Standing out from the crowd, this gives you an opportunity for you to be remembered so that when you are applying, your name rings in their head. And often is the case is everybody wants to have a one-on-one chat. Everybody wants to talk to the analyst, the associate, the managing director, the vice president, but the truth is you may not have the time. So it's really important for you to be brave so that you can stand out and make a good, long-lasting impression. So there's an age-old quote that always rings true to me, which is you have two ways to make a good impression: by what you say and by how you look. Now let's focus on how you look. If you're attending the networking event, there's a quote that always rings true to me, which is perception is reality. You need to be perceived as serious, hungry, and ready to start the job tomorrow if you had the opportunity. So if I was attending the networking event and the weather allowed it, I would look smart. I would perhaps wear a suit, or if I can't wear a full suit, wear a shirt. What I mean is present yourself in an etiquette and very, very presentable manner so that you look good in front of them and so that they can imagine you working with them. Now, the second thing is what you say. It's really, really important to be coherent, to speak well, and to come across concise because they're speaking to many people. It's hard to remember many names. If I'm at a networking event, for example, and I spoke to 100 people, it might not be very, very easy for me. So it's really, really important that you come across concise, that you bring a notepad, for example, make sure you're taking notes, make sure you remember their name, ask for their LinkedIn, ask for their email, and ask for an opportunity to chat. All of this will help you stand out from the crowd and hopefully get offers so you can tell me of the good news, and I'll be happy for you guys. Now, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this extremely insightful. Networking is a fantastic way for you to break in investment banking, so make sure that you do it properly. If you enjoyed this video, please give me 300 likes, and I'll focus more on investment banking videos, which look at entry and performing well in the job. It's the boy, the life is so, aka the bodybuilding banker, and I'm out. Peace.